Hi everybody. It's like 6:30 Tuesday night, and I got a. This isn't the first one, but I've had over the last couple of weeks a couple of notices from people saying that they received envelopes and there was a hole in the envelope and the coins were missing. So there's a number of reasons for that. One obviously could be the people never put the coins in the first place, but that's highly unlikely. Um, but the other one being that when you take an envelope, a simple envelope, say like this, and you put coins in it, and if you don't fasten them somehow, then they have to go. That envelope goes through a slot machine, and if the slot hooks up on the coin, it could very well force pop a hole in the envelope and throw the coins right out on the floor, and the envelope keeps going, gets canceled, and you end up with an envelope with nothing in it, and you've got a conundrum because you're not quite sure how it happened and where your silver is or where anything else is. So I thought, well, I'll do some. This is just might sound simple, and if no, if everybody wants to tune out now, that's fine because these things don't cost me any money. Uh, but what I do is, if the card, see, if the card is substantial enough, and here I would only would never ship anything but maybe a quarter or a dime or two, and I simply take. Of course, I have five Scotch tape things here and can't find them. I would take in this case, say this. I don't even know why I bought it. This is a 1916 in beautiful condition dime. All right. Uh, I don't want to. I'm going to end up sending after showing you how to do this, sending these envelopes out to a couple of random people that watch my channel all the time. Uh, so let me find my dimes. Oh, there goes some off the end. And let me reach in here and say randomly I get out 3 dimes. Okay, that one's. So I simply take the 3 dimes, stick them in the envelope, pinch the envelope closed, and then take my Scotch tape and glue Scotch tape these on all 4 corners. Okay, now this doesn't totally resolve the problem, and this is how you resolve the problem. So you write your little note in there. Thank you for your kindness. Well, glad you appreciated it. And you slip. That's my mind, my humor. And you slip the thing into the envelope and seal it up. Now you still have the problem that this might not get through the slot. So you're going to have to go to the post office. And being as I go to the post office almost every day, it's no pain for me, but it might be for you. Now, you say, why wouldn't you put this in something more substantial? Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But if you ship it priority mail, it's going to cost you $4.95 at the cheapest, even though it's in one of these almost indestructible packages. This, if you take it to the post office and tell them that it has a coin inside and that has no real value, but you're afraid of losing it, so you want them to stamp it so it doesn't go through the slot machine, then they'll do that for you and they'll put it right in on the other side of the slot machine so it doesn't have to go through. Then all you have to do is take one of your address things. In this case, it's Amnesty International, one of the organizations I belong to, and then address it, and off it goes. Now, say that it wasn't that you didn't think that this was sample one. That you didn't think this card here like this. See, that's a very nice card, but I don't like this idea. That you don't think that's substantial enough. Then you can go to the post office and they'll give you, you can walk out with all these you want for nothing. Okay, so then I'd roughly measure this. Okay, now I'll just get rid of that for now. And then, I hate crooked lines, not that that matters. Then, repeat the previous steps. Now this is a little more substantial. So let's say this time I get my little envelopes out. Oh, that's nice. Just filled all my little envelopes. So these things are well rehearsed. And say this time I'm going to send an old beat to hell barber quarter. Okay? So one of you maniacs out there is going to get a beat to hell barber quarter. So again, slop the little quarter in. Do the same thing. I'll put a little note on these after I figure out who's getting what. Now I always, once I scotch tape the top, I always slide the quarter down so that I get a nice firm bit of tape on it. And then I always, just for the hell of it, write something stupid in the lines there. And then you can slip this in the envelope, and that's a little more substantial. And being I'm on Amnesty International kick tonight, I had a big fight with them once. I have to describe that to you sometime. Had to do with Guantanamo Bay. And then this one is ready. It's a little more substantial. But again, I wouldn't trust this. Even though that's real thin, I would still have the postman stamp it so it doesn't have to go through the slot machine. So that's number 2. Okay. Now, this is an envelope. I'm not even going to fill this out. These things here are virtually indestructible, and I don't like using them because they're so waxy. I often have trouble with my markers getting the address on. But these are virtually indestructible, and they're priority mail. And this envelope, you can put anything in it that'll fit in it, as long as it'll close and seal on this. You can't have it bulging where you have to seal it with separate tape. They won't accept it. But I could get T-shirts in here, and I could get maybe 2 or 3 sets of comics in here, and of course you could get a lot of coins in here. But what I'm going to set this aside because I don't use these. I use the following envelope, and I'll show you what I do with them, and then that will in turn you would do the same very similar thing. And again, all this stuff is free, so you don't have to pay for this. You go walk into any post office and just take as many of these as you want because they want you to use these envelopes. Okay, set them aside. Now here's the one that I almost always use, and practically everybody that's listening has probably gotten 1 or 2 of these from me. And what I do with these is I always get extras every time I think I'm going to ship one. I always get 2, and I do the same thing I did with the. And this is for larger a larger shipment than what you could get in a simple envelope. Now, the only reason I would ever use those previous envelopes is because the fact that I could ship them probably for 85 cents, maybe 95 or $1.10 at the maximum. Whereas this, the minimum, it's going to cost you. And I never put insurance on any of these simply because the insurance uh, uh, just adds to the cost, and I've shipped many of these out, and no one has ever lost one. I see I'm getting pretty high on the time, So we'll do the same thing. Say this time, say I'm going to put a regular $half in. Now because of the time, I'm going to fake it. I put the dollar, I put that in. I put a couple other coins in, and then all taped on all four sides, and in bags. And then I simply take that and slide that in the envelope. Now that is very well protected, and then you simply bend it over, take the seal off, glue it together, and put your return address and the address on it, and you're ready to go. Now, these things are very secure, and I've never had any complaint or any problems. These are less secure, but you really must, in all, I beg you, you really must have the postman stamp them instead of the other guy. And then to make this quick, because I'm running out of time, when you have something that's really substantial, say rocks or whatever, then you take these, scotch tape them on the ends, these little boxes, and they give you these boxes. And these things also are virtually indestructible. And you can fit anything you can fit in there, they will ship for the same price. So I don't know if that helped any, but it might solve some problems. So thank you for watching, and four of you are going to get something in the mail, and I don't know if I'll announce it or wait till you get it. Have a good night.